everybody, my name is Julia. Friends call me J-Rock. Thank you so much for tuning in for yet another video. I appreciate you stopping in. Today I am super excited because I'm starting my creator series. You may have seen that in the YBP Mag video, the creator series, where I'm talking to entrepreneurs, doers, creators, people who are out here getting it, building something from nothing. And today I've got somebody super special, Mr. David Daniels, the CEO of SneakerPhetish. SneakerPhetish himself is in the building. Thank you so much for taking the time to interview. We really appreciate you being here. What's going on with you, sir?
Absolutely. I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm hanging in there, trying to do it.
I hear you.
But let's not waste your time. I know you're a busy man, so let's go ahead and hop right into it. SneakerPhetish is your business.
Right.
What is it? I mean, there's a lot of sneaker businesses out there, so tell us a little bit about it.
So SneakerPhetish basically is a buy, sell, trade, new, used, and exclusive and rare sneaker business as a whole. That's primarily what we do. We buy sneakers, we sell sneakers, we trade sneakers. That's really what we do. We travel to a lot of different trade shows and events. We do deals, ranging in all different types of prices. We try our best to find shoes that people need as well. Okay. So if somebody requests a shoe, we have the ability to go out and find it. I do that a lot as well. But that's primarily what we do. We dabble in shoes.
Okay. So are you Flight Club or no?
Not necessarily Flight Club. It'd be nice to get there one day. But the thing that kind of differentiates us from Flight Club is the fact that Flight Club is a 100% consignment shop.
Okay.
And so they just have people just bring in their collections all the time. Whereas we actually secure product. Okay. So we buy shoes. Like I still go to stores and I go buy sneakers and then I sell them, after I purchase them. But Flight Club sells very expensive sneakers as well, extremely expensive sneakers. So that's kind of a level where we want to get to have the kind of clientele and the kind of revenue generating that somebody like Flight Club does.
Okay.
Goals.
Okay. So, all right. So the name SneakerPhetish, where did it come from? And then the tagline, "Look Down," which is on the shirt. I know that's the company tagline. So where do those two things come from?
Well, SneakerPhetish actually just came from the word fetish. Something that someone would have a passion about. And then me just having such a huge passion for sneakers.
Okay.
It's kind of like a marriage, you know what I'm saying? It just kind of blended together. The PH on fetish just comes from me being an alpha, member of Alpha Phi Alpha. So it's kind of like a play on words, kind of like paying homage to the frat because we spell everything with an F sound with a PH.
Got it.
So that's kind of just where that came from. Look Down, it literally just popped up one day. I don't know where it came from, but I was just like looking around. I was like, man, everybody always looks down at people's sneakers to see what kind of shoes they have on. Okay. So I was like, man, if you put that on a shirt and if you got on a fly pair of sneakers that just says look down, naturally somebody's going to look down, right? Okay. So, that's where it came from. It just kind of, it's sticking now.
Okay. So I heard it through the grapevine that you sold some pretty expensive sneakers. Like I've heard to the tune of like $4,000. I mean, I don't know about anybody else who's watching, but I don't got $4,000 for kicks. So I'd like to know how that even happens.
You got good sources. Yeah, that's true. That really happened. So that was a limited edition sneaker. Jordan Brand did a collaboration with a clothing designer. He goes by the name of Don C. Okay. He's out of Chicago. He's a part of like Kanye West, friends, his clique or whatever. Okay. So in any event, he owns a clothing company called Just Don. And Just Don is like a high-end company that produces, shorts and shirts. And they produce pretty much anything. And they put really expensive like animal prints and animal skins on their clothing, like python, snake skin, and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I'm like, I've seen some of his stuff on Twitter, and I'm seeing the python. I'm like, that thing cannot be cheap.
Yeah, no, it's not at all. So yeah, so the Jordan 1 that he made in collaboration, it had white python skin on the shoe, and then it also came with a hat that had it was a calf skin leather hat, satin on the inside with a white python bill on the front of the cap, and it was a package that they auctioned off for charity on eBay. Okay. And I was able to get a pair through the charity auction on eBay, and then I was able to turn around and sell them for around $4,000. Yeah.
Man, we out here making money in SneakerPhetish. The sneaker game has changed a lot over the years. I've seen, for those who watch, you guys know I'm a big fan of sneakers. and you've seen the whole lot of fakes, and then people come out and legit checking, and then you've got this person dragging this person on IG because they don't have the right set of sneakers. How have you been able to navigate in this new situation where everybody's a legit checker, everybody's the real source, everybody's the plug? How do you handle that?
Everybody really is everything these days. And so the one thing that I do is I don't pay a lot of attention to those types of guys, because 9 times out of 10, there's a lot of haters that are on the internet right now that are trolling around and calling somebody's sneakers fake and stuff like that. And nine times out of 10 is because they're trying to go into business for themselves, and so they want to get that clientele. So I don't pay a whole lot of attention to those guys. What I will do though, is I do a lot of legit check-in. I'm always on the computer. I'm always looking around. I'm talking to friends of mine that are store owners, boutique owners, comparing shoes, looking at retail releases, looking at different releases, retail versus early and things of that nature, seeing what the differences are. Because sometimes they're so minute that, it really gets by most people. So that's what I do. I'm always trying to pour myself more and more information to stay on top of everything. But basically, I block out all the haters, and then I just do a whole lot of knowledge, a whole lot of research in order to build my knowledge up.
So where do you get your research from? You said boutique owners, store owners, any place else? Are you online? Is there anything online for people who are just trying to research for themselves about their kicks?
Absolutely. I mean, all the blogs, there's a lot of blogs out there that some of my homies work for. Kicks on Fire, Nice Kicks, Soul Collector, Sneaker Bar Detroit, the list goes on and on. There's a lot of blogs out there that, give a lot of really valuable information. YouTube is a very valuable source as well. People have videos doing comparisons and things of that nature. Very, very valuable source.
Let's talk about getting the business off the ground. I'm sure that you've learned a lot over the years, because how long have you been in business?
About 3 years. Got started on the business side about 2013.
Talk about that a little bit. So how did you even get into selling sneakers in the first place? Did you wake up one day saying I want to sell sneakers? Like, how did you decide I want to sell sneakers and then make it a business?
Right. It was literally out of desperation is what happened. I actually was in between jobs. I had accepted a job, but didn't have the paper offer yet. So key for you guys, if you getting jobs out there, make sure you get it on paper first. But I got a job, and I ended up quitting the job that I was currently at. So when I quit that job, I ended up not getting the other job. They pulled it back, and just like that, I was out of a job. So I was out of a job for about 3 months. Obviously still had bills to pay. So I had a lot of sneakers that I was buying at the time, when I had the job. I was just blowing all my money on sneakers. Okay. Save your money too. But I was,
words of wisdom, apparently.
Yeah, seriously, but anyway, I was on eBay one day and I was looking around and I saw that these guys were selling these sneakers for pretty high prices, and I was like, shoot, maybe this is a way that I can make myself some money. So I sold my first pair of sneakers. The first pair of sneakers I sold was black cement 3s. I still miss those sneakers. And but yeah, that was my first pair that I sold, and I made a pretty penny off of them, and I was like, man, this could be a thing I could do to pay the bills. So that's really how I got started selling shoes, is that I was trying to get the bills paid, and then once I got another job and everything, I just kind of was able to parlay it into a real business at that point.
So it's basically a tough spot turned hustle.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think the best hustles are born that way, so that's what's up.
I agree.
I'm a sneakerhead. I love sneakers. And since I've got you here, you've got to tell us what your favorite sneaker is. I mean, mine is a black cement 3. For those who don't know, black cement 3.
Classic.
So, what's your favorite sneaker, sir?
My favorite sneaker is the Air Jordan 14 OG mid top in white and Carolina blue. It was a rare, it was not really a rare colorway, but it was like a limited colorway. It released in 1999. Okay. And my mom and me went to go put them on layaway. And unfortunately, we didn't have the money to get them out of layaway. So I never got them. Okay. But I wanted those shoes to this day. So if I ever find them, no matter what the price is, that's the one I want.
So even the sneaker plug has a holy grail of a sneaker. Let's talk a little bit about, the things that you have learned over those 3 years that you've been running the business. Yeah. I mean, when you're first starting out, you don't have any real idea about what you're doing or anything like that. And then, years later, you're just like, man, I wish I knew that 3 years ago when I started. What's one thing that you know now that you wish you knew 3 years ago?
I wish I knew more about supply and demand. I wish that I knew more about, consumer behavior and about what people want versus what they don't want, things of that nature. I think that really, really would have helped me, along the way. I also wish I knew more about Nike's global marketing strategy, because they the way that they release shoes and the segments of the company that are struggling versus the segments that are doing really well. If I had really studied that, I think that would have helped a lot of the product selections that I make, selling to people in the United States versus selling to people internationally. So I've made some errors, and I think that if I had studied a little bit more, studied the numbers in the finance side of the house, how they're doing as a company, which then will obviously translate down to how I do as a company, I think that probably would have helped me a little bit more.
There are a lot of people who are watching, who may be starting a business, and then you've heard the saying, everyone's an entrepreneur, everyone's trying to do something, everyone's trying to create something. So talk to us a little bit about what you love about being an entrepreneur, because I don't think it's for everybody, me personally. But, so what is it that you love about being an entrepreneur? And then what are some of the downsides? Because people love seeing the glitz and the glamour, Inc. magazine and Entrepreneur and all this type of stuff. And it's like, wow, this is really cool, but they don't know the downsides. So tell us a bit about what you love and some of the downsides.
Yeah, it's true. So number one thing that I love is being able to kind of work for myself, be my own boss, set my own hours, do my own thing. I'm a Scorpio. I'm a bit of a control freak. So I like that aspect of it, being able to have my hands on everything.
Okay.
But at the same time, I think that there's something really powerful in being able to empower others, be it if they, come and work for me, or if I'm able to, give to people, what I'm saying? Being in a position where I can do good things for other people, that really drives me, because I have a lot of plans for the future for the company, outside of just buying and selling shoes. I want to start community initiatives. I want to start doing things like, giving, single mothers or kids that come from underprivileged areas like I came from, the opportunity to wear these cool shoes that they couldn't afford,
I couldn't afford sneakers when I was a kid. I wore Payless sneakers.
As did I, what I'm saying? I had a pair of Airwalks when I was growing up, and they were horrible. I didn't even skateboard, but I had them. So, what I'm saying? But that's all we could afford. So if I can do something that helps those families and that can, kind of empower those families, to me, that's what it's more about. And that's what I love about it. Don't like about it is the fact that it really does consume a lot of your time, a lot of your life. So you really got to love it. Everything from camping out, sitting outside, sleeping outside for a pair of shoes that you might get, you might not. There's still no guarantee. There's a lot of corruption that happens in the sneaker game too. Mm-hmm. A lot of backdoor deals, a lot of rigged raffles, a lot of people, paying bribes, in order to get shoes that they need. It makes it difficult for someone that has a business that's founded on morals and has a solid foundation to really excel, because usually all the pairs are getting eaten up by guys that are doing it the wrong way. These guys use these things called bots now. These are these automated computer programs that snatch up all the sneakers off of a website. So it can get difficult sometimes, to try to navigate through that. But, we do what we can. We make it work.
Okay. Well, it doesn't sound like you guys are doing too bad. They $4,000 pair of sneakers. Hey, I don't know.
Doing our best.
So give us a good story on a customer that got on your nerves. With every business, and I think I want to weave that into the Creator Series, is being able to tell us one good story about a customer that just didn't really work out.
Yeah. I had a guy that he did a big order for me one time. He did an order that was probably for about $2,000. And I sent him all the shoes, and he literally just had buyer's remorse. And this is actually when I started changing up my terms and conditions. He had buyer's remorse, and basically he was like, I'm not feeling it. He tried to tell me that the sneakers that I sold were fake. I knew that they were not. I knew they were authentic. But that was the reason why he said he wanted to return the shoes. So he ended up returning them. He was really, really difficult about it as well. He was like, no, I want my money. No, forget that. He was emailing me every day. And even after I told the guy that he was going to get his money back, he was still like, well, do I have it back? Do I have it? Where is it? Where is it? People like that, just are hard to deal with. But, we got the guy's money back, and it was all perfectly fine. But after that, I did change the terms and conditions where people only get 3 days to return it, because this was a long time after the guy had purchased the shoes.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So, because it was so long, I didn't know there might have been a chance that it was a different shoe. Maybe he bought the shoe from me and swapped it out with a fake or something like that. So I didn't have that in place. I didn't, things that you learn as you go. So that was a lesson for me, like, okay, change the terms and conditions, put a hard stop on it to when they can return stuff. But he was hard.
So what really keeps you up at night? We've talked about the endless legit checking that's happening. We've talked about the people who are scamming out here, clearly. Yeah. We've talked about, the tough parts of the sneaker game. So what are the things that keeps you up, Mr. Sneaker Phetish?
Really, the next release. What's coming up next? Because the thing about the sneaker game is that it's always changing. It's always evolving. There's always something new coming. So you can be the man this week and have the new pair of Yeezys, but guess what? Next week's a brand new week. Something else is coming out. So you always got to be prepared for that. Okay, so here's the next thing. Okay, how are we going to do this? How are we going to secure this? You know, who do we know? Where can we go? Where do we need to camp at? Things of that nature. So that's really what keeps me up at night is first of all, you know, selling and making sure that the sales are going well, but then also strategizing on the next release because it's never ending.
Fun. We've dealt with the heavy stuff, so let's have some fun. So what does a CEO like you do in his free time? You know, I know that, I mean, I'm sure you have a day job and then you have SneakerPhetish that you're running, so you're a busy guy. So what is it that you do in your free time? I've heard that you write.
I do. I write. You have good sources.
I mean, I do research before my interviews. I do research.
I'm not mad at you. But yeah, I do like to write. I back in the day, I called myself being some sort of musician / rapper, I think like a lot of people where I came from. But I still write a lot. I write poetry, I write music, and I actually have like a little home recording setup studio situation that I record in, you know, just for myself. And so I like to do that. Anything that really is an outlet for creativity, that's what I'm into. You know, so if it's looking at things that other people have created, like, you know, museums, art, you know, sculptures, you know, things of that nature, listening to live music, things of that nature. I love doing that.
Okay.
I YouTube a lot in my spare time. You know, I spend time with my little boy, time with family. I'm kind of an artsy fartsy kind of guy. So, you know, as long as there's something creative in it, then it usually grabs my attention. I'll usually gravitate towards it.
Is there like a link or something we can put for people to go and see your writings and your music? I mean, the folks may be interested. They may buy some sneakers, but they also want to see what you're writing.
Hey, you know, SoundCloud.com/LyricalPhetish if you want to check it out. You know, LyricalPhetish, Phetish with a PH if you want to listen. But if not, that's cool too. Buy some shoes. You know?
But we'll put that in the description box, y'all. This is what I like to call the Creators Corner. And this is basically where I give you a second to share a piece of advice with anyone who's watching, who is starting their hustle, struggling with their hustle, trying to figure out their hustle, you know, or what it is that they're trying to create or build. What's a piece of advice that you'd want to leave with them?
Piece of advice that I would want to leave with anybody, you know, that wants to be an entrepreneur is follow your passion first. Always let your passion guide you. You know, anything that you currently do that you would do for free just because you love to do it, in my opinion, by definition, that's a passion. And usually there's a way, if you kind of put your mind to it, to parlay that into something that can actually pay you some money. But don't chase the money, you know, chase the passion. And usually if you're good at your passion, if you're really dope at it, the world is going to respond to it and the money's going to follow. People are always willing to throw money at something that is going to make their business look better. So say, for instance, if it's in sneakers, you know, if you're really good at what you do, who knows? Nike may come knocking at your door one day, you know, wanting to sponsor you because you're so dope at what you do or whatever it is that you do. If it's basket weaving, you know, maybe a basket company says that you're dope and they want to sponsor you. So just let your passion guide you in whatever you're doing. You know, it may sound a little cliche, but it's very true. You know, take some time, think about what you would do for free, think about what you like to do in your spare time, and then parlay that into something that can make you some money.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So follow your passion, guys. We appreciate that piece of advice. But at this point, what I want to do for anyone who gets interviewed on my show is give you a few seconds for you to, you know, share all things about your business. So all things SneakerPhetish, where can people find you? Anything that's coming up that you want to share with the folks,
Sure.
Have at it.
What's going on, everybody? I go by the name of Kari, and I want to thank you guys for checking out the interview. Be sure to check out the channel, subscribe to the channel. Also subscribe to SneakerPhetish on YouTube. You can also follow us on Instagram at SneakerPhetish. That's Phetish with a PH, no spaces, no underscores, no nothing else. You can also follow my personal page, which is LyricalPhetish, also with a PH. You can follow me on Twitter at LyricalPhetish as well. Be sure to look down. The shirts will be available soon. So if you like the shirt, leave a comment down below. Say, hey, that shirt's dope. I want that. And I'm going to be taking a look at that along with Miss J Rock over here. And if you like it, let us know.
Well, we'd like to thank Mr. SneakerPhetish, Mr. CEO, Mr. David Daniels for coming through and being in the building and sharing some thoughts and some words of wisdom with us. I know everyone appreciates that. Thank you again for your time. And to all of those who are out there watching, to all my subscribers, everybody, remember, laugh hard, love hard, dream big. I appreciate you guys. Make sure to subscribe, and I'm out.